What up, folks? This is Wiretar, back again with a replay analysis. I have not done one of these in, I think, 2, maybe 3 years, and I think my last one was an ASMR video on Brood offline, in like 7.05, so this is certainly a blast from the past, so to speak, but I want to start doing these again because I think they're super educational, and I'm climbing my way back up to 6K. I'm at 5.1 now. If you need proof, I can show you. Right, so you don't just think I'm blowing smoke. Divine 3, 5100, there you go. This was the game that I just played this game to get to 5100, so this wasn't some like 4K game that I'm from like 2 months ago or some shit like that, right? Like it's even in my match history. If you really want to see it, I literally just played this game. So wanted to go over this game, sort of talk about the things that I liked that I did, maybe just divulge some things that I didn't like that I did, build myself up as a player as well. And hopefully something, if not a few things that I say throughout this 30-minute rambling session can be taken by yourself as an onlooker and implemented in your own games, maybe in some way, to make you a better Dota player, because that's what I hope to offer here on this channel. Every game of Dota begins at the peaking stage, and this game is no exception. Why did I pick Night Stalker? Well, Night Stalker is just a solid laner, in my opinion. He's got very high base armor, pretty decent base movement speed, at least compared to a lot of other offlaners, right? 295 is not slow. It's not particularly quick, but like you're not going to be getting run down particularly easily. But he's just a bulky hero, right? You start with 23 base strength, which correlates to 660 base HP, and again 5 armor. You're kind of hard to just hit out of lane. Furthermore, you have high base damage. You're certainly like you're certainly no melee creep, as a lot of other offlaners tend to be. Like Dooms are the heroes that I'm thinking of that kind of are particularly weak in lane. Night Stalker is not that. And you have a huge power spike at minute 5, usually correlates to you getting either level 4 or level 5, depending on how well your lane is going. And at that point, you can start playing super aggressively, on even the most strong of safe laners. Like a hero like Sven, high base armor, well, now he's got decent, like pretty good base movement speed, right, 325. You can even start to bully heroes like this out of the lane at the 5-minute mark. So that's one of the reasons why I like Night Stalker, is it seems to be the case that in most of the lanes that I've played him, I mean, I'm not an aficionado on Night Stalker, but I got about 60 games under my belt now, and it seems to be the case that this hero is just really strong in lane, past the 5-minute mark. And I like to pick heroes that could do stuff in lane. He translates pretty well into the mid game, but we're not going to talk so much about that right now. We're going to talk about my item decisions. So I'm starting with a hefty amount of regen and no other items. Why am I doing this? Because I don't. The reason that I'm doing that is because I don't know who I'm against in lane. Right? I see a Sven. I know I'm against at least a Sven. But that Sven +1 is the real questionable. It's like the real question mark here. If it's a Nature's Prophet that I'm against, maybe I'll want to Ring of Protection or quicker phase boots. Because that hero's not going to cast a lot of spells on me. And their lane is certainly going to be, if it's Nature's Prophet plus Sven, predicated on killing me, but it's going to be predicated on killing me in situations where a stick wouldn't be as helpful as something like, say, a Ring of Protection. Whereas if I'm against an Undying, then I am going to want a quick stick, and then probably, I mean, I'll still rush early phase boost, but I'll probably want a quick stick against an Undying Sven lane, because those heroes are going to spam me down, get me really, really low, low in a relative sense. Like they're going to get 4 decay or 3 decay stacks on me, and then Sven's going to stun me, and then they're going to kill me that way. In which case, a stick will actually amount to like an extra 100 or 200 HP in that, because of all the stick charges I'll accumulate because of decay. So that's why I am starting with just this regen and nothing else. It's because I want to see who I'm laning against. Then I look top and I'm like, okay, trees are going top. I'm going to assume that this is Nature's Prophet 4. So I buy the stick and I ferry it out. And then we go for the rune here. Earthshaker kind of fucks up. I'm telling him, I'm like, hey dude, if you fissure right here while Sven isn't here, like at the rune, then we can get this rune. But then he doesn't fissure block him off, so Sven gets to walk down and stun us, but it's all right. It's whatever. This is low 5k. You got to expect your teammates to not make those kinds of, you got to expect these kinds of mistakes, right, with teammates at this bracket. But it's all good. So I get my stick, and then I kind of make a mistake here. My courier's going back to base instead of just delivering my stick and then going... like, I wanted to get my Quelling Blade as well as soon as possible, so my stick and my Quelling Blade are going to be delivered at the same time here. I didn't start with either of those items, like I said, because I didn't know who I was laning against, and you can't start with both stick and Quelling Blade unless you get the rune gold. I probably should have just kept it in the base, to be completely honest with you, but either way, it's fine. Like, right now, I could have, like, 4 stick charges, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to get these items. And this is the second question you have to ask yourself, right? Beyond just the drafting stage and your early game item decisions, you should ask yourself in every single game of Dota, what am I actually laning against, right? Like, ask yourself that meta question and truly conceptualize it. Don't just say, oh, it's Sven, he has a stun or whatever. Like, think about what the hero wants to do in lane. Think about what Undying wants to do in lane, right? I asked myself that very question in this particular game, and I managed to not die in a lane that I think a lot of other players in this bracket would have died. And the reason that is because I actually truly thought to myself, okay, Sven Undying, these heroes want to kill me. They want to kill me because well, Undying is a really strong lane support, right? He can get you very, very low, in air quotes, by reducing your strength to, like, half of what it originally is at the beginning of the game. And then Sven wants to kill you because he can stun you. These heroes don't have, like, a particularly strong level 1, any more strong, like, they have a stun and that's it, but that might be enough to kill me if I don't play carefully enough. So I'm going to play back, I'm going to chill, right? I'm going to just get the EXP, get any creep I can, but I'm not going to really get any creep from this first wave, and make sure that I'm not postured in such a way that Sven can just kill me while I'm right-clicking these creeps up here. There's just no point in me going for this CS when it could lead to my death, so I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to do the creep aggro trick, which is getting in range of the hero. Sorry, getting within 500 range of creep, like 500 units worth of range of creep. It's pretty close. You have to be kind of close to creeps. Right-clicking the Sven, and then dragging the creeps onto my range creep. What this does is it's twofold. It brings the creep closer to my tower because the range creep is naturally going to be positioned closer to my tower than melee creeps are, thus putting them closer to me in respect to where my tower is to me. So it creates a safer farming environment for me. That's the first thing it does. The second thing it does is it kills my range creep, which pushes their lane towards my tower. And now here, right, like, I was just where I was in a dangerous position because they both hit level 2 because they killed the first 2 creep waves quicker than we killed ours. And Sven was on top of me. That was a situation in which that was scary enough for me to say, okay, I can't be here. I need to back off. And I did. Right? Because again, I'm thinking about the lane. I'm not just thinking, oh, Sven, Undying, they're strong heroes. I'm thinking, these are strong heroes that can very easily kill me despite the fact that my hero's tanky. So I need to play accordingly. And so I am, right? Again, my starting items match this. I have a lot of regen and I have a stick because these items are going to help me first stay topped off in a lane that can very easily kill me if I'm even missing 200, not even 2, I could be missing 100 HP in addition to the strength steal, and suddenly I'm at 400 HP, right? A hero like Night Stalker, who at level 2 is like close to 800 HP, could be at 400 HP just from like a few decays and like, well, just from a few decays, because decay does a little bit of base damage, right? Look at me, literally, what I just said is happening, right? I was at 400 HP because of decay alone. He decayed me twice, well, he decayed me 3 times, and then one of the decays decayed, if you will, no pun intended. One of the decays wore off, but I got hit by 3 decays, and I was literally at 400 HP. And I'm Night Stalker. I'm one of the tankiest level 1 to 3 heroes in the game. Which just goes to show how dangerous this lane is if I don't play safe. So I'm going to play safe, right? I'm going to respect the Undying. Even this is a very scary situation to be in if I didn't have boots. I knew I had boots, so I knew I was safe there. But either way, like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Those sorts of circumstances where another player who doesn't respect this lane and the lane's very real threat to my hero would have died. So, well, that's why I respect it. That's another reason why you start salve as well, is because you identify, hey, Sven likes to get heroes either really low or just kill them outright, right? He likes to stun you and then he likes to all-in you. So a salve will help you in the situation in which you get all-in and you don't die, and then a stick, which is an item that I also started, kind of, will help you in the situation in which you get all-in and you would have died if you did not have a stick, right? Of course I do have a stick. And so now all of a sudden, because I haven't died in this lane, and also partially because Earthshaker is roaming around the map, we have a lot of pressure being applied to this, to both of these lanes. Mid lane is getting applied a lot of pressure due to the sheer existence of Earthshaker in it, and then their safe lane or our off lane is getting applied a lot of pressure because I'm getting levels. Like I'm applying a lot of pressure to this Sven, or at least I certainly will be in 20 seconds when it's nighttime, just because I haven't died 2 times, right? I'm keeping up with levels. I'm getting farm. Like, I'm close to my phase boots. I have a stick. I have a mango. Like, I'm suddenly going to be a real threat to this Sven, simply because I have not died. And that's like something that I want to kind of stress, is that in the in the off lane, it can often be just a win condition in and of itself that you're not dying and you're getting levels. It's sort of a low-level concept. I think a lot of people know that at this point. We've gotten good enough at Dota to where I think people have started to learn that like there are certain lanes in which even not getting a lot of farm is totally fine as long as you're not dying. But this game was especially in this game it was especially the case because we have a roaming Earthshaker. But either way, this is a situation in which I would not have gotten this kill if I was level 4, right? Because Void would have been a lower level, like my Q spell would have been a lower level, and thus would have done less damage and would have slowed the Sven for less time. That was a totally fine kill though. I don't know if we necessarily needed Ogre Magi. At least I don't think we needed him if Earthshaker played correctly, but Earthshaker fucked up the fissure, so it kind of got a little weird. Didn't block off the Sven. That's all good. Right, we killed the Sven, we lost the Ogre Magi, totally fine trade, or sorry, we lost the Earthshaker, totally fine trade though. Killing a Core 4 support is really good. And now look, again, I'm bullying this guy. Look at the pressure that I'm able to apply to this. I just want to pause. I'm a higher level than this Sven, partially because we just killed him, partially, I'd say mainly because I haven't died twice in lane, where a lot of other players would have, right? I just stayed alive early, and now it's 5 minutes. Well, it's 6 minutes, 42 seconds. It's nighttime. I have my levels. I have an armor component to my phase boots. I literally have my phase boots and a mango on the way, right? I'm strong. I am a strong hero. I have a lot of attack speed. I have a lot of base damage. I have a nuke that's very spammable that does a lot of damage. I can start applying a significant amount of pressure to this Sven, right? I can start making pulls happen, and these pulls can be relatively uncontested, especially since Undying isn't here. Like, I can just start bullying this motherfucker, and there's really not much that he can do about it, especially if I have infinite mana sustain, which I'm ferrying out on my courier right now. I can start getting denies too. These are all options that I have available to me that I might not have available to me if I was, you know, 0-2 or 1-2 even. So here, take a little bit of an unfavorable trade, but it's totally fine. I've got regen on the way. Also, Night Stalker has really high base HP regen, one of the highest in the game. And now I'm under tower, so like, look, like, literally, I'm under tower. I have 2 mangoes, and I'm Night Stalker, and I have 8.5 HP regen. I'm still farming, right? I'm not overstaying my boundaries or overstepping my boundaries here. I'm taking the reliable farm. This here is a weird. I don't know why this Sven did this, but he pops ult, tries to fight a double stack hard camp, and just dies for it. Now I'm officially like fed. Like now I'm a real problem, right? If I didn't get that kill, it was like kind of fine, but like now that I got this kill, like suddenly Sven just can't lane here anymore. Or if he does, we'll just kill him, right? Like I have Void maxed out, for instance. I have my ulti. Like I am too much of a threat for just one hero to deal with anymore. And now, like my supports recognize that, and they're like, hey, if we go bottom, we literally just kill anybody that goes there. Right? I didn't even need to pop my ulti for that. I could have just used the very fact alone that nighttime was a thing to kill him there. The reason I did pop my ulti was because I didn't think Undying was going to be there a solo. So I was thinking to myself, okay, like if Undying's here, other people are going to be here. Let's fight. I'm going to pop my ulti. And then lo and behold, he was literally just here solo. So kind of sucks that I suppose I wasted it, but I wasted it for the insurance of knowing that I would be safe, I guess. I'm telling Ogre here to give me his Ocean Heart, but he dropped it, or he sent it back to base. And right here I'm making a play that might seem small, but it's significant. I'm trying to pull the creep wave out of the tower so that my creep wave can hit their tower and I can get farm all the while. Right, so like pulling the creep wave into the easy camp. I'm basically performing an easy camp pull for them, so that my creep wave can die to their tower, do some damage, and I can get some extra farm off the camps that I'm pulling. And then I pulled the creep wave after the easy camp died. I pulled it into here so I could get a bounty rune. This is just a really efficient farming pattern that I'm doing right here, just getting me super farmed, right? Now I want to take the tower because the tower's super low and I have a catapult here, so I'm just like right-clicking creeps trying to push it in. Sven isn't here because, again, Sven can't be here. Even though it's daytime, Sven being here at this point in time where I'm like 2 levels ahead of him, I guess I'm 1 level, I'm almost 2 levels ahead of him. He's level 8.5, I'm level 9 and like 3/4, Harry Potter reference. Like, Sven just can't be here when I have my ulti up, and I'm taking strict advantage of that. Now that my ulti is up, I can look to fight, and so I'm going to kind of, I guess, do just that. I have my Meteor Hammer on the way. Let's pause the game for a second. I think I've described my other items pretty well. Like I described why I got Stick. I described why I went Phase Boots, or if I didn't describe why I went Phase Boots, the reason why I go Phase Boots is a very powerful item on Night Stalker. It just gives you that extra bit of movement speed that you need. Especially during the nighttime, it makes you basically hasted. So it gives you movement speed to continue chasing. You're a right-click based hero. That's how you're going to do the majority of your damage, is just staying in range of people and right-clicking them. It gives you armor, gives you base damage. Like, these are all really attractive stats on Night Stalker, so it's a very powerful item on him. And now I'm going Meme Hammer, right? So I explained the mana, I explained the stick, I explained the Quelling Blade, I think. Quelling Blade is just a solid item to get last hits with. Now let me explain the Meme Hammer. Meme Hammer on a hero like Night Stalker gives you, if it shores up a lot of the hero's weaknesses, right? And what I mean by this is, your Night Stalker, you want to right-click heroes in team fights. That's something that your hero does very well. Meme Hammer lets you do that a lot better. It's a very affordable early game item that gives you high stats. It gives you +8 all stats. That translates to 8 extra attack speed, 1 extra base armor, because you're going to be right-clicking heroes in melee range. You're probably going to be getting right-click back. It gives you +8 damage through +8 strength. It gives you +160 HP through +8 strength. It gives you enough mana to be able to cast Void 3 to 4 times in a fight, plus your ulti. It just gives you very attractive stats. It also gives you very efficient regen, right? I shouldn't say efficient, but like, it gives you pretty good regen. Like, it gives you a perseverance worth of regen, which is nice, which is good stuff. Like, Night Stalker does need some form, especially with a Meme Hammer, because Meme Hammer costs mana. Night Stalker needs some form of mana regen to supplement Void spam. And then the last thing it gives, which is indeed the biggest reason why I buy it, is the last thing it gives is tower pressure plus creep wave annihilation, I guess. Like, it gives you the ability to farm, and Night Stalker usually does not have that. He lacks that very much. Last patch, which is the patch that I'm referring to here, is the Necrobook patch. I guess you could say 7.26. I would go Necrobook, because Necrobook on Night Stalker, it gave him even more attractive stats. Like, it gave him a crap ton of strength, crap ton of mana regen, and it gave him the Necrobook minions that allowed him to farm and fight. Now I go Meme Hammer, because Night Stalker, again, like, you don't have a farming mechanism. You could go Axe, but I don't really like Axe. Axe is really expensive. It's like a Battle Fury's worth of, like, you're basically paying for a Battle Fury at that point in terms of gold cost, and it's not even that good of a farming tool. Like, you have to push Q like 3 times to fully clear the wave. Whereas if you go a Meme Hammer, you can just drop 1 hammer on a wave. You can do it, like, I don't want to say instantly, but you can just walk up, channel the hammer, walk away. You don't need to sit around for your Void to come off cooldown or anything like that. Like, it's just a very efficient way to get a form of wave clear that otherwise is very difficult to itemize for on Night Stalker. Like, what other item can you go that gives you this kind of wave clear? And again, like, it also gives you combat stats. Like, that's just the icing on the cake, that I'm not just buying an item that only gives me farming potential. Like, I'm not just getting a Midas, which only gives you farming potential. And it doesn't even really give you farming potential, right? Midas lets you kill 1 creep. It doesn't let you clear the wave. But we're going to have to rewind a little bit, because while I'm explaining items, and hopefully doing a pretty good job of explaining why Meme Hammer is such a good item on my Night Stalker, I'm kind of neglecting the decisions, the moment-to-moment fighting decisions. So we push the mid tower down. I say to my team, hey guys, I have ulti. I am totally ready to go fight if you guys want to. I have an item. Let's go do it. So I go mid, and then I see a fight developing after I blast this creep wave out. I think it's important that I blast this creep wave out and push the wave into the tower, but I see, again, like, a fight developing. I want to go fight. So pop my ulti immediately so I can get some vision, and then I identify the targets that I want to go on. I see my Earthshaker echo the Undying, but I think to myself, this Tombstone is going to be a real problem if we don't kill it. So I make the decision to focus this Tombstone. Not entirely sure if it's correct, but it's something I did. I think it's correct. In hindsight, I think it really helped us kind of dominate this fight, but again, that's one of those decisions that you make in a fight, and hopefully it just kind of works out. So we get 2 kills. One of them is on a core, I think, right? No. One of them is on the Prophet, who kind of ends up being a core in whatever game he's in because of his ulti. But we get 2 kills. We trade two heroes on our own side. We make a lot of space for TB. And I think more important than all of that is that I survived, and I even got one of the kills. Yeah, I actually snagged both of the kills that we got in that fight. And I got a courier too. The important aspect of that is, like, why that is important that I was the one getting those kills is because my hero can really turn into a core if I'm given farm, and especially kills. Like, if you start to snowball early game as Night Stalker, you have no problem, but like, as a hero, you have no problem itemizing towards right click. Like, you're always going to be a pseudo carry, or a semi carry, if you will. And then if you get enough kills, like, you can just become a mainline carry. Like, you can just start building items like Abyssal and Assault Cuirass and just start right clicking people. And so that's one of the really, like, cool things about that fight that just that just happened. Whereas another hero like Doom, for instance, right? You can't ever really become a right-clicking core. Like, Doom can do a lot of damage, no doubt, but his damage is never going to be facilitated through items that help him right-click. Per se. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Well, it shouldn't be that hard to explain. It's quite easy to explain, actually. Night Stalker has an insane attack speed steroid, and he has an insane damage buff steroid, so to speak. He's kind of like Brood, actually, in a lot of ways. Brood doesn't have an attack speed steroid, but Brood has a huge damage multiplier, like damage booster, so to speak. Like Brood has a huge lifesteal and damage or bonus damage steroid on her ulti. Night Stalker has a similar thing where he doesn't have a huge lifesteal steroid, but he trades that out for a crap ton of attack speed and a crap ton of bonus damage. Couple that with the fact that you have an incredible silence and your crippling fear, and an incredible slow through your Q, which doubles as not only like a movement speed slow, but an attack speed slow, and you're basically always able to right-click people, especially if they don't have a BKB, and pretty much not suffer from too much retaliation. If they don't have a BKB or a purge, you can pretty much always man-fight people. So that's kind of what we're showing off here, right? I have nothing but a meme hammer, and I'm able to kind of man-fight this Doom and force like this Sven to run at me with his ulti. Like, look at how threatening this is. Then as my ulti degrades or times out, I back off, because your hero's name is Night Stalker, right? Not Day Stalker. You're you're kind of useless during the day. Let's just say that. You're a lot less significant of a hero. So, anyways, I think I detailed what we did in that fight, and then after that fight, another pseudo fight broke out. But yeah. Back to macro decisions, right? So we went meme hammer. I want to finish my wand and go halberd this game. Why do I want to go halberd? Halberd's really good against Sven. It's really good against Alchemist. It's okay against Doom. It's not that great, but he does want to right-click people in fights with his E. It's good against Prophet. Like, basically 4 of their heroes want to, in some capacity, right-click people in fights, and you as a Heaven's Halberd carrier can pretty much always make use of, like, it's always going to have value this game. It's never going to not have value against their heroes. Even if 2 of their core, like, even if Sven and Alchemist get a BKB, I'm still going to have use for Halberd. I mean, even Undying wants to right-click people to some extent with his ulti. So it's always going to have some value. It's good evasion for the zombies. Like, these are the reasons why I'm getting it. Like, I'm not getting a Halberd to use it against an Undying in a fight. I'm getting Halberd in this game to use it against Sven or Alchemist prior to them getting their BKB. But I'm just highlighting why it's such a good item in this game, even if those heroes do get farmed enough to where they get a BKB. Halberd's also super sick because it gives you status resistance, which is really solid against a hero like, or against a hero such as Night Stalker, who's going to naturally just soak a lot of crowd control. You just saw it there. I got stunned. You're going to get, like, CC is going to get thrown your way. Like, that's one of the main ways that teams deal with you in the mid game. I should actually slow it down. Probably slow down the speed too. And just talk about this Halberd for a second. Like, status resistance is a very attractive stat on Night Stalker. You'll never mind bonus strength, it's bonus damage and bonus HP. The evasion's pretty sick, right? It's a nice, tanky, like, survivable item that also gives you some damage and a lot of utility for your team. So I want to slow this down for this fight, just because I want to explain some things. So at nighttime, especially when you have your ulti up, you want to fight. Night Stalker is super strong in that exact circumstance. The reasons for that is no matter if the fight is short or long, you have the safety of knowing that because it's nighttime, you'll always be a useful hero, even if you won't be as useful because maybe your ulti will time out over the course of a long duration fight. You'll still be a very useful hero just because it will still be nighttime after the fight. But especially with your ulti up, like, you give your team so much vision, you have so much damage, just a lot of utility and right click ability. Like, you're a very powerful hero. So here we're baiting super hard for our team. It's unfortunate that we're maybe, like, this is potentially even my fault of going in a little bit too early with my ulti. But the cavalry is coming, so TV falls here. It looks kind of bad, but Earthshaker got his blink, and just watch this echo. Everybody blows up. It's like a fucking nuclear explosion. Pretty sick. Sucks TB had to die for that, but that's 5 heroes died. I got 2 kills. No, I got 1 kill. No, I got 2 kills. I got the Alchemist and the Undying. Still have not died yet, by the way, Cap.
gap. I think I'm highest or second highest on the net worth chart. No, I guess I'm fourth highest. Jesus. The heroes farm well. And Night Stalker farms really poorly. Even with a meme hammer, like it's hard to keep your net worth up on this hero. Especially when you've been fighting as much as I have. But either way. That fight was pretty sick. I don't know if there's much to break down. Let me try. Let me try to do it. I'm gonna try to go back to when this fight first erupted and go over it just real briefly. So, we're posturing. We see that they're also posturing. We see the Doom chilling there, right? See the Doom chilling there, and I think to myself, okay, they knew this was going to happen. Like, they expected Sven to get gone on. So, you know, they have this tier 2 tower. They have an easy TP location in. If we die instantly, this is super bad. So, our main goal here is surviving as long as possible. That includes myself, right? I don't need to just sit here and say, oh, TB is getting gone on, I need to throw my life in there as well and die with him. No, I just want to stay here, give vision for my team, stay alive, and be a useful hero by the when my team arrives, so to speak. And when they do arrive, Earthshaker comes in, Blink echoes, I'm, you know, lo and behold, I'm still alive, so I can play cleanup crew. I don't want to say that's the perfect fight, like that's the best fight we could possibly fight, but that was a really good fight because of how long they stayed and how long we were able to keep them there. And this is like you know, another useful aspect of Meme Hammer is when you win a fight, you get to drop the hammer on the towers, speed up your push a little bit. It's juicy, man. So we take that tier 2, and it's always a good idea when you take the enemy tier 2 to go take their outpost. Any tier 2 on the map. It doesn't matter if you're taking it their safe lane, but usually we'll be taking it in their safe lane because that's the safest place for your team to farm on the map. It's the dead lane concept. But yeah. Usually when you take a tier 2 from the enemy, it's a good idea to just go take their outpost. It gives you a lot of vision. It gives you an extra objective, right? Like if you can keep that outpost by the 20-minute mark, you're going to get a huge experience lead over your opponents. Even more so than what we currently have. Kind of speeding through this. I don't really think there's much to talk about. It's still nighttime. I have my ulti again. So I just want to come up here, give my team a crap ton of vision. Play for my Magnus to come in here and RP. It's just a juicy ass fight, you know, nothing more to say. You got your silence lasts for 5 fucking years, 7 seconds. It's hard to take a bad fight in those circumstances. But you know where it's easy to take a bad fight is the circumstances that are coming up. And what I mean by that is it's almost the 20-minute mark, which means it's going to be daytime. I'm not going to have my ulti. These are the situations where, as a Night Stalker, you need to communicate to your team, and I do it every single time it's daytime. You need to communicate to your team, hey guys, it's not nighttime anymore, it's daytime. I'm kind of a useless hero because I don't have my ulti up. Like, let's not fight, or let's try our best to avoid fights, at least until the duration of my my cooldown, my ulti cooldown comes back up. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We're not posturing for Roche. We're not posturing for anything that could potentially throw the game, because this is one of those games that it'd be a real shame to lose this game because of how far ahead we are. And there's no reason really to. So we take a pick on the Alch. That is when it becomes okay to Roche, right? Even though it's daytime, like, we killed their Alchemist. They can't really fight us. If nothing else, it'd be a 4v4, right? If my hero was truly completely useless in a circumstance like this, at the very least it'd be a 4v4 because Alchemist is dead. But, of course, Night Stalker doesn't do literally nothing during the day. You just do significantly less. Here I take the Aegis. TB is kind of bad with Aegis, and I just think to myself, like, you know, I'm 9-0. Like, if I just take Aegis here, I think we just win. They can't focus me. They can't focus Magnus. They can't focus you, TB. Yeah, like, we have too much save, right? Between Magnus and Earthshaker, like, one of those heroes can always play back, such that we just never really have to worry. Here, the reason why I didn't void him earlier is because if I void him there and my team isn't there to follow up, he can just TP. So I hold my void because again, if I don't hold it, then he can just TP out. But I chase him with my ulti because I want to keep vision for my team to catch back up. But right there, we just killed Sven and Nature's Prophet, and with that, we should be able to just, you know, push this shit right into the tower. I'm gonna save the hammer for the tower. We pop meta and the meme hammer a little bit early here. I just popped it because he popped meta, but it's all good. And here I tell my team, okay guys, like, it is daytime, and I don't have my ulti, so we are kind of useless. Or I am kind of useless, rather.
One thing about that play earlier that I even forgot was that I actually have net. So it was totally fine for me to void him there, actually. And then if he stuns me in TPs after I void him, I could just net him after his stun duration. So I actually probably should have just voided him, but it's all good. The result was the same. But, yeah. This game's kind of just a stomp from here on out. I hope I explained the early game well enough, because there's really not too much to be derived from, I think, watching the rest of this game. I go Solar Crest to enable my TV, even though I have an Aegis. Like, Solar Crest is also just not. It's like a nice right-click item too. It keeps the enemy slow. It gives them a bunch of negative armor, so you can just right-click them. Like, it turns you further and further into fulfilling that like anti-core role of slowing their attack speed, slowing their movement speed, removing their armor from the equation. It makes you super sticky. And so here I just net his ass while he's TPing, and then we just kill him again. Now it's nighttime, so of course I'm always looking for a fight when it's night, even if I don't have my ulti. You're a really overpowered hero when it comes to nighttime. Right, like I'm moving at 529 movement speed. With this 7% Hunter in the Night movement speed talent, like, you're so quick. It's crazy. Yeah, and we're just cleaning up. So there's probably not too much else to be derived from this game. We just roll them over. Aegis expires. They didn't kill a single one of us in the duration of us having Aegis. Yeah, so the game's over. But again, I think the interesting things about this game were the early game decisions. So we'll just go over them real briefly. So again, starting a lot of regen, and my regen is diversified because I expect to get really low in this lane. Getting a stick, getting a quelling blade. Oh, getting a stick for sure. Getting a quelling blade just because you want to get it for last hits, for contesting last hits rather. It's too much damage to pass up. But getting a stick for sure. Rushing boots for sure as well, so I don't get like ran down particularly hard. Just a strong, basically building strong laning items, playing a strong laning hero, identifying and respecting the enemy's prowess over us, or like strength or potency, if you will, to use BSJ terms, like respecting the enemy's strength in lane such that I'm not feeding and losing, basically like delaying my timings. Playing into my hero's strengths, which are nighttime, which are when I get phase boots. Even before I get phase boots, like when I get level 5, so I get 3 points in my Q. Yeah. These are the things that make Night Stalker strong, and this is kind of how you should play the hero. This game, again, was a little bit weird because we have a roamer. Usually you won't have a roamer, you'll have a hero that is, playing in the lane. At least, you'll have a hero that's playing in the lane pre-4 minutes. And if you're in a high enough skill bracket, maybe you'll play with a team that will start to roam to check their runes at 4 minutes. Like that's typically the 4 positions job. But I played with a hero that, this game was roaming pretty much at level 1, which is fine. The enemy didn't do a particularly good job of capitalizing on that. But I think I did a good job of playing into that fact, of knowing that my lane's gonna really come online when I get a little bit of farm and a good chunk of levels. So yeah, that's kind of what we did here, and I hope I did a good job of explaining that. More replay analyses to come, and hopefully I get better at this so I don't get super rambling. Anyways, guys, I love you, and yeah, I'll try to keep up with this. Peace out. Good luck.